All right, I just wanted to do a video on section 1.6. So with section 1.6, that was dealing with properties, and you don't have to spend a lot of time memorizing these properties. It just winds up being that you use them a lot especially when you're trying to do things mentally. Okay, so I just thought we'd take a look. I can't get this to go off. So let me see. Okay, so I'll just leave it in blue. So just take a moment to look through these. The commutative property is the one that says if you're multiplying or adding, that the order in which you multiply does not matter. You could do 3 times 5 or 5 times 3, and you're going to get the same thing on both sides. That's also true for adding. So multiplication and adding are both what we call commutative. The associative property is the property that has to do with the parentheses, and whether where the parentheses are located doesn't really matter if you're multiplying or adding. See how on these, how the order of the numbers is the same, 2, 3, 5 on both, 2, 3, 5 on both. I just changed the location of the parentheses, which does change the manner in which you would work that out if you were following order of operations. Okay, so what these properties are, these are things that are always true, that sometimes allow you to vary the way you would approach simplifying an expression from just the strict order of operations. Okay, distributive property, I had people put an asterisk by. It's usually written with A and then parenthesis with the B plus C. And don't forget that between the A and the B plus C, there's multiplication there. The distributive property says the A needs to be multiplied by B and the A needs to be multiplied by C. Okay, that one we use quite a bit, and there's a lot of examples of that on the next page. All right, and then the identity and the inverse properties, they get mixed up all the time. The identity element of multiplication is 1. Okay, so if you multiply any number by 1, you get the number back. The identity element for addition is 0. So if you add 0 to any number, you get the number back again. Okay, and so the inverse property says shows you that if you take two numbers that are what we call reciprocals of one another, that would be multiplicative inverses, and you multiply them, you're going to get a 1. You're going to get the multiplicative identity. And the inverse property for addition says if you add two numbers that are opposites, you're going to wind up getting 0, which is the identity element for addition. Okay? All right, so this is a PDF, so I can't actually write on it. So I'm pretty much just sharing what we did. All right, and then 36 was really hard because it looked like associative property, but in fact, look at 36. Do you see how we actually interchanged the two sides of the plus sign? We put 12 first and then -8 plus 4 second. So it's actually commutative property of addition. So we kind of worked through those problems. And then at the end, this is where we did what was really important. This is where you do the distributive property. So you have to take, and the number that's out in front, remember that's multiplication. You have to do 3 times the 2s and then 3 times the 5y, and that's going to be how you get that 15y. Okay, and so we worked through all of these. The tricky one was 114. On that one, remember how we said that negative you see out in front? Think of it like a -1. You can always slip a 1 in front of something because 1's the identity element for multiplication. Then distribute -1. So -1 times -4r becomes positive 4r. -1 times positive 5s becomes -5s. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to do a quick one on section 1.6. So basically just wanted to post what we did last time, and then have you have that available when you're trying to work through the homework on that.